Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Iqbal Birmansyah. I'm from English Education Department, Class 7B. Here I want to explain several points based on what our lecturer ordered to us. And my group consists of me, Muhammad Iqbal Birmansyah, will be deliver or explain several points based on paragraph 1 and 2. And my friend Muhammad Irfan will take the rest. So the first about main idea. The main idea of paragraph 1 is the field of Islam and gender is gendered, with most of its scholars being women. This is characteristic of women and gender studies at large and underlies its marginal epistemic and institutional status within various disciplines of the modern academy. And main idea of paragraph 2 is the post-colonial lens adopted in early Islam and gender scholarship established the silence of this newly emerging field for deconstructing Orientalist stereotypes of Muslim women. Point 2 about complex sentence. The complex sentence from paragraph 1 is, while this is also true for the study of Islam and gender, other factors are also at play. And the second complex sentence is, despite taxing acceptance of the analytical significance of gender, the intersection of these two categories has made for a highly charged field of inquiry, polarizing Muslim and other audiences over its commitments, practices, and impact. Point number 3 about words belongs to Islamic studies are gender, marginality, stereotypes, Quran, and Muslim. Point 4 about question from paragraph 1. So the question from paragraph 1 is, who usually conducts Islam and gender inquiry? My answer is, it increasingly conducted by women. And the question of paragraph 2 is, what is the cause of the rise in Islamophobia since 9/11? My answer is, the growing number of Muslim women scholars engaged in the study of Islam and gender. Maybe that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Next to the third and the fourth paragraph. The topic sentence of the third paragraph is, within Muslim academic institution and network concerned with preserving what is conceived of as tradition, commitment to deploying gender analysis for explicit feminist purpose is frequently met with suspicion. And the fourth main idea is, like other modern categories such as race and religion, gender has a history imbricated in the epistemic paradigm of Western Eurocentric modernity, which has long sought to subjugate non-Western intellectual tradition through historicistic objection and conceptual reconfiguration of their text and key event into West self-understanding. And the complex sentence of the third paragraph is adverbial clause. From this does not negate the well-evidenced recognition in Muslim context of their need for inclusive models in male-centered scholarly fora, including Muslim higher education institution. The next is adjective clause. The crux of constantation comes from different interpretation of gender which have become central to intellectual and essential concern in nearly every sphere of Islam. And the fourth paragraph is adjective clause. Gender has history imbricated in the epistemic paradigm of Western Eurocentric modernity, which has long sought to subjugate non-Western intellectual tradition. And the word terms that belong to Islamic studies is Islam, Islamophobic, gender equality, and feminist. And the last is the question. Is Islam the only one who discuss about feminists? No, Western people discuss feminists too. And next question is why the feminist activists always distrust by several people. The answer response vary, ranging from empathy over the Islamophobic and Orientalist undertones of their common non-Muslim detractors to outright dismissal of these scholars as agents of cultural imperialism.